The film commences with a school event where children are delivering a play with great skill. Meanwhile, backstage, someone is tampering with the water supply. Upon consuming it, the children fall ill, vomiting, and disrupting their performance, necessitating an immediate hospital transfer. The blame lands squarely on the shoulders of the event's organizer, the teacher in charge, while the true perpetrator, Shelby, goes unnoticed. Why did she commit this act? The story unravels the mystery. Shelby and her father relocated to this city 3 months ago, both grappling with profound sadness. Shelby's mother had tragically passed away from cancer, plunging her into a deep emotional turmoil. Despite her father's attempt to alleviate her grief by moving to a new environment, Shelby remains introverted, unable to confide in anyone about her pain. Misguided by the belief that a change of scenery would heal her wounds, Shelby's father failed to recognize that she couldn't easily integrate into new social circles. At her new school, when provoked by unruly classmates, Shelby reacts impulsively, resulting in her expulsion from class. While the teacher acknowledges Shelby's wrongful reaction, he also identifies the instigator's culpability. In a subsequent meeting, he advises Shelby to disregard such provocations, emphasizing the importance of facing adversity with resilience and courage. Despite her aspirations to confront her challenges with fortitude, Shelby's resolve wavers when confronted by the relentless taunts of her peers. Fleeing to the sanctuary of her home, she finds solace in her father's attempts to uplift her spirits, but her mood remains somber. Faced with her childhood memories, Shelby's embarrassment manifests in her mistreatment of her father, further isolating herself from understanding. In Shelby's tumultuous world, her struggles are both internal and external, complicating her journey towards healing and acceptance. She lacked both intellect and the confidence to socialize, struggling to fit into the conventional world. For years, she endured solitude without a single friend. In her idle moments, she found solace in a YouTube channel featuring a disabled girl with a substantial following. This inclusive community, comprising individuals with various disabilities and vulnerabilities, offered Shelby a sense of belonging and acceptance, free from judgment. Unexpectedly, a member of this community reached out to Shelby, sparking her curiosity and suspicion. Despite her initial apprehension upon seeing the unfamiliar face on the screen, Shelby was intrigued. The girl, preferring to be called Bestie, quickly formed a bond with Shelby, who found comfort and support in their friendship. Bestie became Shelby's mentor, boosting her self-assurance and encouraging her to embrace change. At Bestie's encouragement, Shelby underwent a transformation, adopting a new appearance that bolstered her confidence. Armed with a fresh hairstyle and subtle makeup, she faced her school environment with newfound courage. When confronted by troublemakers, Shelby confidently stood her ground, empowered by Bestie's guidance. Grateful for Bestie's influence, Shelby unquestioningly followed her friend's directives, eager to overcome her fears. Bestie presented Shelby with challenges designed to push her boundaries, starting with pilfering a sentimental item from her father. Despite the emotional significance of the task, Shelby complied, fueled by her desire to please Bestie. Subsequently, Bestie urged Shelby to shatter her father's cherished coffee mug, a daunting feat that Shelby reluctantly executed to prove her loyalty. Each challenge undertaken strengthened Shelby's resolve, binding her further to. In conversations with Bestie, Shelby discovers that she holds considerable sway over her actions, effectively manipulating her to carry out tasks at her behest. Despite Shelby's belief that Bestie's directives are aimed at bolstering her confidence, they often involve engaging in petty crimes, orchestrated by Bestie herself but executed by Shelby due to her inability to leave her house. Unaware of the negative impact of these actions, Shelby drifts further from her father's influence. Caught in Bestie's web of manipulation, Shelby finds herself engaging in increasingly harmful behaviors, such as sabotaging school events on Bestie's command, oblivious to the potential consequences. Despite occasional doubts about Bestie's logic, Shelby remains steadfast in her loyalty, even as Bestie's demands escalate to disturbing levels. Under Bestie's influence, Shelby's descent into darkness reaches a climax when she heeds Bestie's suggestion to impersonate the deceased daughter of her music teacher on Halloween, a callous act that shocks her peers and faculty alike. Faced with the repercussions of her actions, Shelby's father confines her to the basement as punishment. Isolated and desperate for guidance, Shelby turns to Bestie once more, seeking a way to escape her father's punishment. Bestie's manipulative advice pushes Shelby to drastic measures, culminating in her self-inflicted injury at Bestie's insistence. Despite her reluctance, Shelby succumbs to Bestie's relentless manipulation, resulting in her hospitalization and further deterioration of her already fragile state of mind. Upon her realization that Bestie's influence was toxic, Shelby recognized that their relationship was anything but friendly. Bestie manipulated her into carrying out tasks for her own benefit. Determined to break free from this harmful dynamic, Shelby distanced herself from Bestie and embarked on a journey of self-renewal. She committed herself to rectifying her past mistakes, including repairing her relationship with her father by returning her late mother's cherished cup and offering a heartfelt apology. Seeking to mend other broken bonds, Shelby approached her music teacher, whom she had offended with her callous remarks about their deceased daughter. As she embarked on this new chapter of her life, Shelby found solace and companionship in her friendship with River, a kindred spirit who shared her introverted nature. Discovering their mutual love for her favorite YouTuber, Shelby's happiness knew no bounds, finding comfort in their shared interests. However, Shelby's newfound peace was shattered when she received a menacing message threatening to expose her past misdeeds. Anxious and fearful of the consequences, Shelby reluctantly followed the instructions, only to discover that the sender was none other than River. He reassured her that he harbored no ill will, empathizing with her struggle against the mischievous group. In a moment of vulnerability, River confided in Shelby about his own past struggles with illness and bullying, solidifying their bond. Their friendship blossomed, empowering Shelby with newfound confidence and resilience. With River's support, she achieved academic success and secured admission to a prestigious school in another city, marking the beginning of a promising new chapter in her life. Before departing the city, River orchestrates a surprise for Shelby, leading her to a secluded spot by a river far from the bustling city. As they approach Shelby's house, its eerie ambience unsettles her, evoking a sense of foreboding. Despite River's attempts to reassure her, Shelby's unease intensifies as she recognizes the familiar backdrop of Bestie's video calls. Her intuition warns her of impending danger, urging her to flee. As Shelby contemplates escape, a figure emerges from the shadows, sending her into a panic. Desperate for safety, she turns to River, only to realize too late that he was not her savior but her assailant. In a shocking turn of events, River betrays her trust, revealing his allegiance to Bestie. Unveiling the truth behind the facade of friendship, it becomes apparent that Bestie harbored sinister intentions all along. Manipulative and psychologically troubled, she preyed on the vulnerabilities of others, using them as pawns to satisfy her own desires. Shelby's realization prompts her to sever ties with Bestie, provoking Bestie's wrath. In a calculated scheme of revenge, Bestie dispatches River to carry out her bidding, culminating in the tragic demise of both Shelby and River. With their deaths, Bestie's insatiable thirst for control and retribution is momentarily appeased, bringing the chilling tale to a haunting close.